The stone we're using would look something like that. Much smoother. The reason that they are smooth is not because someone shaped them, but because they were just rolling over either rivers or the ocean to be smooth. That's the only reason, and they are actually pebbles, you know, either looked in around river or around the beaches. And they will have to be 100% basalt and quite smooth, but not too smooth. Some stones are treated by smoothing them extra time and then they look shiny. It looks good for the magazines, but if you want to massage with, they would glide too quickly. That's why some of the stones you would see that in the set they don't look as nice as the other. The only reason is that they are not oiled. If it will be oiled, it would look shiny as this one. Yeah? So it is a choice I've done because I want to do more deep work. I don't want the stones to be too smooth. If it's too smooth, they would be too gliding. Yeah? So what sort of stones we have? We'll start really with Big Daddy. Yeah? This is called...
so you're using these ones?
Yeah, I'll come to it.
Sorry.
I'll come to it. This is, I call the Sacral Stones, and you put it mostly in two places. On the sacral, when you're facing down, or on the abdomen. Another use, if you have a boxer coming to see you, and you're thinking, my God, how can I work on this person? I'm going to sweat and nothing will happen. Take this iron and just go on the erector spinae. Wonderful, and it would work. And they would come to you, they would say, fantastic. And they would look at you like, you don't look very strong, but it was one of the strongest treatment I've given. You're using the stone's weight, and you can use quite strongly on big muscles. I wouldn't use it on neck and shoulder, of course, but on a slender person, it's too much. So we have to use our judgment. This is the Sacral Stone. Yeah? Next one is stones that I call large effleurage. And what's interesting, you see that some of them are not perfectly in shape. And some would say, why, I'd like it to be perfect, but we know again, we all come in different sizes, and it's nice to have this rounded shape so they can go like compression on the person with a bit of a sticky bit from the stones, yeah? And you will see that I'll ask you to find out, and it's almost like knowing each stone, how can you work with them in the most comfortable way for you. Sometimes you will swap stones just because you haven't found that for your hand, these stones are exactly what you need. And sometimes I have students who call and say, oh, I've been to your course 2 years ago, I have one stone I don't like. Why? It just does not fit to my hand. So we'll swap. That's possible. Okay? Right, so this is the large effleurage, and you will have the small effleurage. It's just a question of size. Some of them would be smaller, some of them would be bigger. Other stones we have here, we have the neck stones. They are much smaller, and you can see how nicely they can go over the upper trapezius area, yes, all the way to the suboccipital area, yeah. So we will use them a bit later. Now there are other stones in the set, but I would leave it for later. Okay? So what are we going to do now? We're going to take the slow cooker, and I would really recommend this slow cooker specifically, and I will send you the link too, because it hit the stones very quickly in about 20 minutes, and it's quite cheap. it can cost something like 30, 35 pounds. And I've used them all the time since I'm in the UK, so it really works really well. Yeah, and they have.
Otherwise, there are some kind of things for hot stones, but are much more expensive.
They are,
yeah.
But they are a lot more expensive. You can have a slow cooker for 90 pounds, or 80 pounds, or 60 pounds, but I don't find any reason why to, because that works quite good. Okay, so the slow cooker has a separate crock that you can take out and clean it, and if you break it, you can also replace that one specifically, and you have the heating device itself. Yeah. You can come a bit closer. Yeah. And what I'll ask you to do for now is to take the large effleurage and small effleurage and put it in. In my practice, what I do, I have a very small white towel, and I put it underneath here before I fill it with water. Reason is that the slow cooker is black and the stones are black, and sometimes it's hard to see which stones you get. So it's nice to put a flannel
Just inside
or
here.
just inside, just below. Yes, you put it here. Yeah. Take all the stones. Yes, and we'll do that. Now you cover it, you put it on high. There is another piece of equipment that I want to show you, and that's the bowl for cold water. And the equipment that you lift the stones with. It looks like a bit like being in a kitchen, yeah. But that works best. The way how it works is once the stones are warm, you come and pick up the stones. The stones are extremely hot. You put them in the cold water, and then you lift it and wait and see whether the stones are in the right temperature. If not, you drop them again. Wait and see. Once they're ready, you start massaging. You finish massaging, you drop them into the cold water, into the hot water. You take another stone, etc., etc. Yeah? Now, you could do it also with, it's called tongue. It's quite good. It holds it really well. And it's quite cheap. I think this one was 3 pounds or 4 pounds, and it's quite good. Even bigger stones, you can lift them quite easily with it and drop them. And it makes you feel like you're in a barbecue party, but don't barbecue your clients. Yeah, it's quite good. Those. The spatula need also to be strong, so it has to be not from an elastic equipment. It has to be from metal and not from these elastic plastic, because it can bend and then the point, yeah, exactly, the stones can fly. So you have to be careful with it. That's roughly about the equipment. I will add on more that the cold water bowl needs to be from any material but glass. Yeah, it can be from metal, wood, or plastic.
Why?
Because you don't want to drop and break it. Some stones, because it's quite smooth, they can drop from your hand, and then
If it's oily as well.
it's oily. Yeah, think about it. So it's quite a question of health and safety to not to have it. If you're sure about it, if you want to, you can do glass. I don't recommend it. I think those are very good. It's very easy to clean. Wood is also very nice. It keeps it nice and warm. Color. I would say really.
You don't put any salt.
No, no.
To disinfect
No.
or no?
But you will see that we use a lot of oil. A lot of oil from two reasons. First, the stones, the untreated stones, they are not oiled. So some oil would need to get into the stone and to be absorbed into the stone, and will take some oil. Also, when the heat is really high, there is higher absorption of oil into the body. So it's quite significant more oil.
Also with aromatherapy or no?
Yeah. So we'll have to be careful. I think tomorrow we'll talk about the aromatherapy issue, the blending, how much blending you can do, not to get into too much aromatherapy oil into the body.
When you say the stones are not treated, you mean there is no oil?
There are no oil.
But
There's no oil.
when you massage, of course
No. Those stones can be stored for a long time. And when it's stored with oil, it becomes a bit smelly. That's why I've asked them to receive them not treated with oil, but when you start working with them, of course.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah, of course,
so
yes.
these are new. You never
These are
use
new.
these. Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the reason. I mean, some you would see that, for example, I've used already, but this one I didn't.
I got you. And do you wash them after?
We'll talk after about cleaning them. You need sometimes to wash them, but quite irregularly, because when you put them into hot water, the heat can get into 70, 80 degrees, 90 degrees. That means that it kills all bacteria. You basically disinfect them every time you put them into the hot water. So for that regulation, it's quite good. Yeah. Now there are other styles of hot stones that the water is only at 52 degrees centigrade. So it's not good, it's quite dangerous, because at that temperature still you could get a lot of bacteria. So be sure that the stones are very hot, then when you cool them off, you get them in the right temperature. There was never a problem. I'll teach you the technique that you would be safe from burning your clients. Yeah, we have to be careful. Yeah, that's the reason that we're massaging with the stones and not leaving them on their body. Fantastic, good. Close that.